Hi, this is the card that I made for the Copic class at YPP. We were given a choice of two images. I chose the Santa, and we were to use that to make a Christmas card for a family. What I did was I made one for my mother, and you'll notice under the Merry Christmas it says Merry Christmas Dot. Her name is Dorothy, and people call her Dot. And I'll get to the reason I made it for her in just a few minutes. But I started out with the Santa, and we were supposed to show shading. And so I shaded him using the light source coming from the top right, which is right up there by the little mistletoe. And after I shaded him, I used stickles on some of the toys, a little bear, and there's a ball down there, and also on the bells on the harness. So then from there, I went to the fireplace. The fireplace was cut with a Cricut. Then I ran it through the Tim Holtz brick embossing folder. Then went over it with white ink. The fireplace is right there. I'm afraid he's going to step into it, but I couldn't figure out a way to get him not to. So maybe he'll just be really careful, and we won't worry about it. But the fireplace is also cut, and it's got lots and lots of stickles in different colors on it. The bow on the swag was cut with the Cricut, and then I colored it. I cut it in white, and then I colored it with Copics, and attempted to show some shading on that part too. Then I used the IROC to do a blue little embellishment there. The stockings are little mylar stockings that kind of are awfully bright. At the top of the fireplace on the mantle, there are two sets of candles. They were also cut with the Cricut, and then I colored them using the Copics, also doing the same shading. And then they have the flames have some stickers on them to show a little bit of 3D effect if you could see them in person. The wreath was cut also. It's got the same kind of bow that's on the swag on the mantle, and then it has the IROC. I also used that to put some bling, kind of like little holly berries. Then from there we go down to the tree. Now the reason I did the tree the way it is because when my kids were little, we always had a really strange looking tree, because I had 3 kids, and they were always making little ornaments at home and at school and everywhere, and every one of them had to go on there, no matter what kind of paper they were made out of or what kind of condition they were in. So I thought that everybody probably had been through something like that in their life. So I made a tree that kind of reminded me of that. So with the different brads that I put on there, it's kind of an eclectic mess, which is sort of what a lot of our trees look like when the kids were growing up. But it kind of makes me feel good. It reminds me of when my kids were little. And the gifts on the bottom are that same mylar that is on the stockings that are on the mantle. Then from there, the mistletoe is just a little felty that's stuck up there. The Merry Christmas was cut with a Cricut. And then I went over it with the gel pen, with the glaze pen, and then with some, it's kind of hard to see, but then I used my white gel pen to do some stitching around the edges. The dot is, of course, thickers. Now the reason that I did this for my mother is because we're having a family reunion, as I said, maybe I said it, and she's not going to be able to go for health reasons, and she lives in a retirement home, in an assisted living home. And so what I did was on the inside of this, I just covered it with paper, with Christmas paper, sort of Christmas paper if you like green and pink. And then what I thought I would do was just have everybody sign it at the reunion, and then I could give it back to her, and then she would have it in her apartment, around Christmas, and it would make her feel a little less sad because she wasn't able to go to the reunion. So this is my rendition of my Christmas card, and as I said, it's my first video. Could be my last. You never know. But I just wanted people to know that I wanted to wish you a Merry Christmas, and I guess this is a good way to do it. When I first was going to do this, I knew that I could either turn in a picture or I could do a video, and when I mentioned to Roxy that I was thinking about doing the video, I got a reply back from her in capital letters that said, do it. So I'm assuming when Roxy says do it in capital letters, that means that you do it. So the card is from Mother, and the video is for Roxy. Merry Christmas, everybody.